Am I natural? And why the hell does it matter to you? Yo, what's up? Welcome back. It's your boy Kiva Bundy, aka The King. And today I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it 100, 1000% real because, this is a question that's been often asked for years and years to me. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be completely honest with everybody. So let's get right into this. Be sure to comment, subscribe. All right, so little backstory. I come from a gymnastics background. I started doing gymnastics when I was 10 years old. I competed nationally for approximately 5-6 years. And I developed a great foundation in gymnastics. I started the sport when I was, again, 10 years old and finishing when I was 16. So I had a good foundation. So then after high school, still with no real direction, I went to St. Mary's University for approximately 2 days, and then I decided that wasn't for me, and I wanted to take a year off, and I ended up taking several years off, and moved to Toronto, got into some personal training, stuck with being involved with the fitness industry. I got my certification through the YMCA. And then I got personal training certificate through CanFit Pro. And I just wanted to continue in the path of fitness. 2004, I moved out of Toronto. I was like, I gotta move back home. There were some family things going on. So I moved back home, and back home being Nova Scotia. I moved back here. I got myself a job at New Bodies, which is now Good Life. All right, so I'm not trying to bore you, but yeah, okay, 2007, we'll fast forward there. I applied to Nova Scotia Fire College, and I got in. It was amazing. I met a lot of nice people at the Fire College, and I applied for Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency, and 2007, and I got in 2009. This is leading into the bodybuilding, so don't leave yet. This is getting good. It's getting juicy. All right. So 2008, I hadn't been on the fire department yet, but I decided to do a bodybuilding show. Decided to do a natural bodybuilding show called Fame. This was an organization that came from the United States, I think, and they came here to Halifax a few times, but I traveled to New Brunswick to do this show. And I had no idea what I was doing. I asked some people for help, and I got some help from some great former bodybuilding champions around here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I was using my work ethic. It's not gymnastics, but you could do it. You go on stage, you did a routine. So I threw a couple backflips in there, which you're not allowed to do now. I was like, this is cool, man. Like I was allowed to pose and do a routine and flex my muscles, all that good stuff. I was like, man, I like this. So I ended up winning that show. So there was another federation around here in Nova Scotia. It was called the NSABBA, the Nova Scotia Amateur Bodybuilding Association. And that was coming up. That show was coming up 2009. Which was a big show around here. It was a big deal. It was huge because everybody talked about it, and always whoever won that show, the male and female bodybuilders, they were crowned Mr. Nova Scotia or Mrs. Nova Scotia, which was a huge deal. It was just one show for the year, and like all the top bodybuilders around here went to that and did that show. So I decided to do it. I was like, cool. I'll do this show and see how I pan out. I did Fame. I won. And but Nova Scotia was a whole different ballgame. I came second, and I was a humbling second, and I still felt really good. I weighed in at about 170, I think. So I was in the light middle category, and with some amazing athletes. There was huge classes, and I held my own up there. But again, I didn't know how to diet. I didn't know how to properly pose. So everything was a little bit choppy up there. So I decided that I really wanted to do this. I really want to do this show and someday become Mr. Nova Scotia. Because the guy that won it that year, Mr. Nova Scotia, he was a big guy, and I knew of him, and I seen him for years. So 2009 was like my eye-opener. That was a humbling experience. That was my eye-opener. And I was like, I think one day I can become Mr. Nova Scotia. So I'm going to keep on this path. I'm going to keep on this journey. Okay, 2012. Oh, that was a good year for me. It was a great year. I was into my career. I was feeling good. I was now on a new platoon. I was not on day work anymore. I got moved into the core, which is the 24-hour shift, which I'm currently on. So I work 24 hours, and then I'm off for 3 days, and then back on shift. So I'll work twice a week. Anyway, that's another story. So 2012, I hired a coach, a nutrition coach and bodybuilding coach, Mr. Santana Anderson. And he was like, Kiva, man, like, let's go for that overall. Let's do it. And I was like, really? He's like, man, you got the muscle maturity, you got the frame. And I was like, man, but most of the times it's the heavyweights that win the overall. And I was only like a light middleweight, or maybe even the high end of middleweight. So me and him had a great preparation, awesome prep, still natural, awesome preparation. And I ended up winning my weight class. But then I got beat out in the overall by the guru, Greg Doucette. A lot of you know him, famous YouTuber, amazing bodybuilder. And check this out.
The overall men, the first and second place was 1 point. And I'm going to ask the trophy for the men's overall champion for the 2012 NSABBA Championships be presented to competitor number 69, Greg Doucette.
That year, he went on to become a IFBB pro, going to nationals and fucking kicking ass there. So, I mean, it wasn't in the cards for me that year. He was an amazing bodybuilder, and I got beat out. 2013, still natural, and it's nationals time. So this is a different ball game. This is called the CBBF Nationals. So that's a big deal. This is national. This is Canada. This is the best bodybuilders in Canada. So in my weight class was some monsters, and we are only middleweights or light middleweights, but these guys were on a different level. So I was like, okay, wow. There was like 14, 15 of us, and I was like, I have to pose for my life up here. I ended up coming in 4th place, which was a very humbling experience for me, and I wanted to win. I wanted to win. I seen people that year win their pro cards, and I was like, you know what? I think I can win my pro card. So not only did I want to win the Mr. Nova Scotias, I was starting to think of, you know what? Man, I want to grow. I want to win my pro card. So with Nova Scotias on my mind for Mr. Nova Scotia, and now wanting a pro card, I was like, okay, I need to take this to another level. I suffered an injury that year. It was actually just before the show. I tore my labrum in my shoulder, so I had to get that repaired. And I got that repaired, and the recovery was awesome. I had some time off of work. Recovery was great, and I was starting to do some research on PEDs. I now go further in the sport. I wanted to be on the same playing field as, guys that came 3rd, 2nd, and then the guy that came 1st in the nationals. So now I'm in recovery mode from my surgery, and after doing some research and talking to a lot of people, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what... I had the genetics. I had the motivation. I had the work ethic, but I said, you know what? I need to compete with these guys at this level. I'm going to have to do something different. I was 34 years old and I had already pushed my body to its natural limit, to its natural ability. 2015, I set my eyes on first things first, the Mr. Nova Scotias. So I got in contact with a lot of people and I worked with a coach and I ended up winning the Mr. Nova Scotia. Okay, so 2016, after coming off that high of winning the provincials and being crowned the Mr. Nova Scotia, 2016, I said, I want to give another kick at the can of nationals again. Now that I am a little bit enhanced with PEDs. So I decided I'm going to go to Winnipeg for the CBBF this time. It wasn't in Halifax, so I was like, now I got to travel. All right, so hope you're still with me. I hope I'm not boring you. So anyway, 2017, I did not compete. I was in the process of building a house and with my family, so I did not end up competing. But I knew that I had my eyes set on a nationals for 2018, which I did compete. 2018, I hired a coach named Eldura Mahmoud, and amazing bodybuilding coach, amazing bodybuilder. He actually came in the top 3 in Winnipeg. So I got talking to him in 2016 about workouts and contest preparation, and I ended up hiring him as a coach for 2018 for national competition. In the middle of that preparation, I ended up falling through a set of stairs at work that were on fire. Did I do the show still? I did the show. I busted my ankle up pretty good. I made it out of that fire, and I did the show, and I won my weight class. Very, very close to winning that overall. But the overall got awarded to a super heavyweight who was very well deserving of that title. I was hungry. I felt it. I was like, man, I was so close. I jumped back on. I was like, Coach Dura, I need to stay hungry with this. I want to compete 2019. And this time, God willing, I don't fall through any floors, get any injuries, things like that. And I just wanted to do a whole off-season preparation with him and then right to the show. And lo and behold, 2019, went back to Toronto again, and I did the exact same thing. Won my weight class. My weight class had an awesome time, awesome experience, but got beat out again by the super heavyweight. And I was just like, oh man. And well deserved by the super heavyweight that beat me, because honestly, he went the next day to the pro show, and I think he probably got like top 4 or 5. So that's very impressive to come off stage as an amateur and then do that well as a pro. And the drawing board for me was, what do I do now? What do I do now? So I announced that I was going to retire. I said, I'm done with bodybuilding. That's it. I came close and I said, you know what? I have nothing to prove to anybody in the sport anymore. Nothing to prove in the first place, but I just wanted to see if I could actually win an ifbb pro card. And, I came short 2 years in a row, and I was like, I'm getting burnt out here. I can't continue on this path of PEDs. I'm getting older, and maybe I'm just gonna stop. Just gonna stop competing. So that's what I told people. I told people I'm gonna stop competing, but I ended up just going off of PEDs and just staying in shape, trying to be healthy eating, and still staying consistent with the gym. And it took about a year of a lot of body dysmorphia. My wife seen it. I would tell her all the time, I'm just getting so small, I just had no motivation to work out much. I had no motivation for lots of things, if you get my drift. But I was coming off testosterone. So it took a long time. It took almost a year for my body to actually clear up and start to produce my own natural testosterone, which thank God that actually came back, because a lot of people, it doesn't come back. But I wasn't on PEDs long enough to actually destroy my natural testosterone altogether. So I was like, you know what? I got to come off of these and I got to reevaluate some things. And for the first 12 months, it was hell. It was hard. Like I didn't know what I was doing. Like my levels were all up and down. I was going for blood work all the time to see where my levels were, if they were back to where they were. And no, it took a whole year. So I need to clear up a little bit more. I needed to be sure that I was 100% natural. So I did a lot of blood work, made sure all my enzymes and all my kidney functions were at proper levels, and my testosterone levels were before I started PEDs in 2014. And lo and behold, they were. So I was like, okay, now what? I'm in pretty good shape. And I started looking around on Instagram and stuff like that. I started seeing some natural shows through CPA. And I was like, well, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I want to do 2 bang bang. I want to qualify as a natural athlete, and I just want to go right to nationals because I have to requalify as a natural. And this is where we're leading up to now. Am I a natural? Well, you can call it whatever the hell you want, but right now, I'm a natural bodybuilder. Was I a lifetime natty? Hell no. I'm not going to dispute that. But if you test me right now for any PEDs, there's none in my system. So anybody that wants to say, oh, but he wasn't a lifetime natty, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Doesn't matter to me. Say whatever you want. People have been saying that to me for years. Since I was 12, 13 years old. Oh, man, you got all kinds of muscle. You want this stuff. Listen, say whatever you want. I don't care. I've been working out a long time. 99% of people look at me probably like, oh, yeah, he's taking the PEDs at the time. But anyway, everyone's going to believe what they want to believe, and that's just how life is. You believe what you want to believe. Right now, I believe that I'm a natural bodybuilder, and I'm going to go for that pro card on August 6th, 2022. Write it down because I'm going to qualify as a natural bodybuilder in July 16th in New Brunswick, Fredericton, New Brunswick. Then I'm going right to Toronto and I'm going to win that pro card as a master or as an open bodybuilder. You better believe it because it's going to be real. And if I don't, then oh well. I tried my best. I still got nothing to prove to anybody but myself. This is something I've got to prove to myself that I can do this.